Hello again, everyone. This is to inform you that in this multidisciplinary international seminar, we have received over 300 abstracts, and the seminar will be conducted in the hybrid mode. Both offline and online presenters will give presentations. And the offline technical sessions have been arranged according to the themes that we have found in the submitted abstracts. After this inaugural session, we will have a short tea break and then we will move into the first plenary session. And the technical sessions, the parallel sessions, will be conducted post lunch. So you all are invited to participate as per your schedule. All the participants and research scholars who have gathered outside the hall, kindly come inside and take your respective places. All the participants and research scholars, kindly come inside the hall. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. This is to announce that the Honorable Vice Chancellor will be delayed by 15 more minutes because he is stuck in a traffic jam uh, near Gaya Airport. Sorry about the delay. Thank you for your patience. Excuse me, everyone. The Honorable Vice Chancellor has arrived. हाँ होता ही है हम्म, हम्म। इधर आइए इधर आइए। रहमत मैम के बाद रहमत मैम के बाद we have the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S.P. Shahi, with us. Good morning, sir. I request everyone to kindly take their seats. We'll begin very shortly. A warm good morning to respected dignitaries, esteemed professors, delegates, research scholars, participants both online and offline, students, and members of the audience. I, Amritendu Ghoshal, Assistant Professor, Department of English, AIM College, Gaya, welcome you all to the inaugural session of the two-day multidisciplinary international seminar on culture, creative art, and literature here at Radhakrishnan Auditorium, Magadh University, Bodh Gaya. I sincerely hope that this scholarly gathering fills us with the joy of knowledge, collaborative spirit, and inquisitiveness. Without further ado, I invite the respected dignitaries to grace their respective seats on the stage. I request Dr. S.P. Shahi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Magadh University, Bodh Gaya, to kindly come on the stage. I request Dr. B.R.K. Sinha, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Magadh University, Bodh Gaya, to kindly grace the stage with his presence. I request Dr. Prabhat Kumar Singh, former professor and dean, Central University of South Bihar, to kindly grace the stage. I request Dr. Mukesh Kumar, professor, Department of History and coordinator, IQAC. I request Dr. Rahmat Jahan, Professor and former head, Department of English, and presently Dean, Faculty of Humanities. Dr. Sarita Virangana, Professor and Head, Department of English, MU Bodh Gaya, and Mr. Sanjay Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of English, and Organizing Secretary of this seminar, to kindly take their respective seats on the stage. The culture of our country has always been guided by the pursuit of knowledge, and the very place where we have gathered this morning has been relaying the message of compassion, renunciation, and enlightenment to the world for thousands of years. In this tradition, let this seminar be another step for all of us to clear the darkness of ignorance and fill ourselves with the rays of wisdom. I request the esteemed dignitaries on stage to light the auspicious lamp and formally inaugurate the seminar. Sirs and ma'ams, if you could kindly light the auspicious lamp.
दीप ज्योति परम ज्योति दीप ज्योति जनार्दन दीप हर तुम्हें पापम दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धन संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशाय दीप ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते दीप ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते.
Much gratitude to the respected dignitaries. Now I request our students, mentored by Dr. Meenakshi and Dr. Ekta Verma, to present the Magadh University Kulgeet. I request everyone to kindly stand for the Kulgeet.
परदेशरा, सुख शांति करुणा के सप्तक परदेशरा, अंत सुमें रग रग में अंत सुमें रग रग स्पंदित विज्ञान, अमृतम तु विद्या का मुक्त हस्तदान, अमृतम तु विद्या का मुक्त हस्तदान, बुद्धं शरणं धम्मं शरणं संघं शरणं ज्ञानं वरणं, बुद्धं शरणं धम्मं शरणं संघं शरणं ज्ञानं वरणं। सांख्य योग परा भक्ति प्राची का परा ज्ञान, सांख्य योग परा भक्ति प्राची का परा ज्ञान, रसो वशशील समाधि प्रज्ञा दिव्यदान, रसो वशशील समाधि प्रज्ञा दिव्यदान, बोधि वृक्ष छाह करे बोधि वृक्ष छाह करे नर से भगवान, अमृतम तु विद्या का मुक्त हस्तदान, अमृतम तु विद्या का मुक्त हस्तदान, बुद्धं शरणं धम्मं शरणं संघं शरणं ज्ञानं वरणं, बुद्धं शरणं धम्मं शरणं संघं शरणं ज्ञानं वरणं। मगध विश्वविद्यालय मगध विश्वविद्यालय गुरुकुल की शान, अमृतम तु विद्या का मुक्त हस्तदान, अमृतम तु विद्या का मुक्त हस्तदान, बुद्धं शरणं धम्मं शरणं संघं शरणं ज्ञानं वरणं, बुद्धं शरणं धम्मं शरणं संघं शरणं ज्ञानं वरणं, ज्ञानं वरणं ज्ञानं वरणं ज्ञानं वरणं ज्ञानं वरणं, ज्ञानं वरणं ज्ञानं वरणं ज्ञानं वरणं ज्ञानं वरणं। Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi, Dr. Ekta, and their team of melodious girls to start with this Kulgeet. I, Dr. Pooja, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Gautam Buddha Mahila College, Gaya, would now request Dr. Rehmat Jahan, Professor and former Head, PG Department of English, Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Magadh University, and the Director of the seminar, to felicitate Professor Shashi Pratap Shahi Sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Magadh University, as the chief guest of the seminar. May I request the volunteers? I request Dr. Sarita Virangana, Professor and Head, PG Department of English, Magadh University, and the convener of the seminar, to felicitate Dr. B.R.K. Sinha, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Magadh University, as the guest of honor for today's program.
Now, may I request Dr. Neeraj Kumar, Professor, PG Department of English, MU, and the coordinator of the seminar, to honor the keynote speaker of today's event, Dr. Prabhat Kumar Singh, the former professor and dean, Central University of South Bihar, Gaya.
Okay, there is a small announcement to make. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor has a busy schedule and some urgent work to do. So he has to leave this meeting for some time. He will be joining shortly for his blessings. And the Pro VC, the Pro VC will be presiding as the president for this session. I request Dr. Sushil Kumar, Professor, PG Department of English, Magadh University, to felicitate Dr. Mukesh Kumar, Professor, Department of History, and the IQAC Coordinator, Magadh University. The media persons and the sponsors will be felicitated tomorrow during the valedictory function.
This multidisciplinary seminar will give a platform to a number of thought-provoking ideas, abstracts of which have been collected along with other details in the seminar Souvenir. I request the respected dignitaries on the stage to kindly formally release the seminar Souvenir. The souvenirs are being distributed.
I request Dr. Sarita Virangana, Professor and Head, PG Department of English, Magadh University, and the convener of the seminar for her welcome speech. Madam, please.
A very warm welcome to each one of you sitting on the dais and off the dais. First of all, the Vice Chancellor has left, but we are honored that he took some time and blessed us. He would be coming again. So I am really thankful to him for coming, because it is because of his initiative that we have been doing small events, and gradually we came to this international seminar. We are grateful to the Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Sinha, Sir, for gracing the occasion and presiding over I am also thankful to Professor Prabhat Kumar Singh, sir, for accepting our request to give the keynote address. I am thankful to Professor Mukesh, sir, the IQAC coordinator, and I'm really thankful to the Dean ma'am, the organizers, and all the team. As a convener, I have seen the hard work. We had very little time. Within 25 days, we covered up everything, and you would be glad to know that there are more than 300 participants, and they belong from the north of India to south of India, east, west, name a place, and a delegate is from there. And not only from India, people have joined in from Canada, UK, there are African nations, Libya, Denmark. So it is an international seminar in the true sense. And then it is multidisciplinary. And when you see around, we are not only people from the English department, people from political science, people from other colleges. You can see, I hope you recognize the people around. Very few of them, us, are from the Department of English over here, the rest. And they have helped us wholeheartedly. Without their help, this could not be a success. And I can see the most eager faces. I'm not going to go in detail about the theme of the seminar because ma'am would be initiating that, and then sir would be doing the same. I don't want to repeat. We are running short of time. So once again, I welcome all of you wholeheartedly, and the media persons, the technical people, because without their help, we cannot succeed. Our students, they and our research scholars who have been the backbone, and I would be felicit, and our sponsors. They have been very gracious. Many of them I don't even know. We don't even know. But still they have cooperated very, very generously, because without money, nothing can be done. You know that. So that was a big issue which was solved. So thank you all, and I welcome each one of you from the bottom of my heart. Just enjoy, and if we lapse anywhere, do forgive as a human error. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your feisty and energetic welcome address.
I forgot to welcome Professor Rizwan over there. Kindly do for me.
Yes, I welcome Dr. Rizwan Khan, Professor, Aligarh Muslim University, on behalf of the Department of English, MU Bodh. Welcome, sir. Next, to introduce the theme of the seminar, titled Culture, Creative Art and Literature, I invite the director of the seminar, Dr. Ahmad Jahan, professor and former head, Department of English, and presently Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Magadh University, Bodh Gaya. Ma'am, if you could kindly introduce the theme to the audience.
Thank you, Amritindu. Though this theme is very, it has a very wide dimension, and I don't want to go into the all details, but still a very brief introduction. A very warm good morning, all of you. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor had to leave due to some pressing urgency. Anyway, so Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S.P. Shahi, sir, we are grateful to him for motivating the entire university to vibrate with upbeat zeal and enthusiasm. With seminars, workshops, and cultural activities, they are going continuously in the campus of Magadh University. Thanks a lot to our guardian, sir. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor B.R.K. Sinha, sir, we are also grateful to you for you promote us in all our efforts in doing all these academic fronts. Our keynote speaker, Professor Prabhat Kumar Singh from Central University of South Bihar, Gaya. I welcome him. I welcome Professor Rizwan Khan, also an alumni of Magadh University, Bodh Gaya. We are very privileged to have you, sir, here. IQAC coordinator, a very dynamic and energetic coordinator of IQAC, Professor Mukesh Kumar. I welcome all the esteemed scholars and delegates and students present in the auditorium, the non-teaching staff, and all the members of the print and electronic media. Of course, you are always there, very eagerly there to cover all our programs. Many thanks to you. Now, it is my immense pleasure to welcome you all in this seminar on culture, creative art, and literature. I tell you, it will be a very dynamic, multidisciplinary event, which will be gathering scholars, artists, writers, and cultural enthusiasts to explore the intersection between creative expressions, literature, and cultural practices. This seminar, I hope, will serve as a platform for critical discussions and celebrate artistic and literary achievements under diverse genres and mediums. It harps on the themes. A very wide area of themes are covered on contemporary creative expressions, cultural identity, interdisciplinary approaches, and of course, the impact of globalization and digital media on art and literature. We are undeniably living in a jet age with umpteened facilities at the click of a button. We are very privileged to be living in this age, such an advanced age. But still, the modern society is reeling under the pressure of materialism and narcissistic egoism. This cutthroat competition is somehow spelling some very difficult positions for us, simply because we have lost our roots that lies in our culture. And the only way to retrieve our culture is through creative arts, like folk arts, poetry, music, dance, etc. The stories of Panch Tantra, dating back to 200 BC, are taught even today, and it is relevant. Children literature and writers like Shakespeare, George Bernard Shaw, T.S. Eliot, Alexander Pope, from these form the main corpus of our syllabus. Now, coming to meditation, there is no second thought about it that meditation has been advocated as the modern cure for all ailments. But this was also long back hinted at in 19th century Wordsworth's poem, The Daffodils. He says, when I see the daffodils, I am thrilled. And when I am in a pensive mood and I meditate upon it, then I get relieved of this pleasure. This is something which hints at meditation. Wordsworth also laments. He says that all the malady of the modern man lies in our distance from nature. We are not looking inside. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending. We have laid waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. So long back, William Wordsworth said that we are unhappy because we have gone away from our nature. And what does creative art do? Creative art delves deep back into our own soul. No wonder then the policy makers of our country have realized this point and have incorporated all folk cultures and regional literatures, etc., in the mainstream of Indian syllabus. So herein lies the importance of culture and creative literature. So finally, this event, I hope, will feature scholarly addresses from renowned figures from India and abroad. As the convener ma'am told, that it's very heightening and it is a very pleasant experience to share that we are having participants from all the corners of the globe. So they will be having panel discussions on pressing cultural issues that encourage participants to engage in creative practices. The seminar will not only promote cultural understanding, but will also highlight the power of art and literature to shape societal values and inspire change. Why do we need literature? We need literature to become human beings. Man has learned to fly in the air, but he has forgotten how to walk on the earth. By bringing together diverse voices, this event will underscore the importance of creativity in navigating and understanding the complexities of the modern society. It hopes to stand as a significant forum for intellectual and artistic change, contributing in the ongoing dialogues about the role of creative arts and literature in society. So, all of us, let us join hands to make this experience an enlightening one, promoting compassionate humanitarianism. And this is the crying need of the hour to make the world a happy place to live in. Thank you, and all my best wishes for the ongoing forums and discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful introduction. This is a general request to the respected dignitaries to kindly use the other podium, because we have been receiving complaints from online participants that receptivity from this podium is not very good. So that would be better. Uh, This is an opportunity for me to state that this seminar has been organized under the kind aegis of IQAC, Magadh University, Bodh Gaya. We have the good fortune of having amongst us the IQAC coordinator of the university, Dr. Mukesh Kumar. Dr. Mukesh Kumar, MA, PhD, is a university professor of history at Magadh University, Bodh Gaya, with 28 years of teaching experience. A former associate, Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Shimla, 2006 to 8 and 2010, and visiting fellow, CSID, University of Hyderabad in 2001. He is a member, executive committee of Indian History Congress, as well as the executive committee, Bihar Itihas Parishad. He is a recipient of the Professor Parthsarathi Gupta and Professor J.C. Jha Prize, Indian History Congress at New Delhi in 2010, and Professor Mohan Kumar Mathur, Young Achievers Award in 2017 from Central Indian Historical Research Foundation at Gwalior in March 2017. He is the only scholar to receive twice the most prestigious Professor M. Athar Ali Memorial Prize from Indian History Congress in 2017 and 2022. At present, he is engaged with an ICSSR major research project, Health and Hygiene Status of Tea Garden Workers, with reference to North Bengal tea gardens. With research interest in colonialism, migration, and emigration of labor, Indian diaspora, history of medicine, and engaged Buddhism. He has published more than 60 research papers in various books, journals, and proceedings of conferences. He has presented papers at the 21st International Association of the Historians of Asia Conference, National University of Singapore in 2010, and at the Global Conference, Slavery, Past, Present, and Future, Oxford University, Oxford in 2015. Sir, I request you to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Or namaskar. Respected Chairperson, Visionary Vice Chancellor, Professor S.P. Sahiji, in absentia, and in absence, Professor V.R.K. Sinha, sir, the Pro Vice Chancellor, will be doing the job, or rather, I think I can say that he will be monitoring the proceedings of this session as the chairperson. Professor Prabhat Kumar Singh, the distinguished professor of English. We love him so much. We respect him and we love him so much because I had the opportunity of being with him at Gaya College for some time, and then sir left Gaya College to other places and then again came to CUSB, and so many things are there. So we have great respect for sir because we have seen lot of writings of sir, and sir, we welcome you at the today's program. Director of this program, of this two-day international seminar, Dean Social Sciences and Professor of English, Professor Rahmat Jahan ma'am, convener of this seminar, Professor Sarita Virangana ma'am, the head of Department English, Magadh University. Distinguished guests present in this hall, Professor Rizwan sir from Aligarh Muslim University. First time I met him, and I came to know that he is very close to my bade bhai, Professor Israt Alam sir, who is Professor of History at AMU, Aligarh. Professor Vikas Mohan Sahai, Professor Arvind Sunil sir, Professor Sushil Kumar, Professor Javed Anjum sir, Professor Sadiq, Professor Atal. Now the youngest professor of history, I think, English in Magadh University. And other members of the fraternity, teaching fraternity of Magadh University and adjacent colleges, and also the distinguished participants across the country. Of course, people are participating across the globe also in this conference, and I'm very much happy to know that almost more than 300 abstracts have been received for this conference. Normally, before 1.5 years, organizing a conference was a tough job, was not so easy here at the campus. But since the advent of the current Vice Chancellor, Professor S.P. Sahi sir, and equally contribution is from our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor B.R.K. Sinha sir, we are really vibrating with an academic culture which includes so many conferences, conferences and extramural lectures. We are organizing all those things here, and the campus is academically very much vibrant. So thank you so much, sir, that you people are here and you have made us awake, and we are on the verge of doing some excellence. I don't say we have excelled, but we are on the path of excellence. So coming back to this, in multidisciplinary international seminar on culture, creative art and literature, I have got certain reservation with the word multidisciplinary, because what I find and what I feel that culture, creative art and literature all are mingled, all are interrelated. So what I feel, this is my perception, what I feel that it is an interdisciplinary approach which connects all those aspects, and whatever comes from behind mind, that is the cognitive perspective of a person, that is reflected whether it is in the creative art or in the culture or in the literature. So culture is a way of life which includes characteristics of a particular group or a particular region, their expression of behavior, their behavioral expressions rather, I can say. And this creative art is a mega, aspect of people's creations, people's creative creations. But again, one thing is there, I must not confuse with art and creative art, and don't take it as the similar things. Art can be repetitive art. Art can be something which lacks creativity. It is just the repetition of art. But when creativity is concerned, when we talk about the creativity, I think literature has got a major role to intersect with the creative art activities. And in that very activities, I think so many people are sitting here and on and off the dais. They are contributing. They are contributing through writing poetry, writing short stories, novels, and so many things. And that comes from the expressional behavior of the creative thinking of that person. So these are two things which I wanted to say. And one more thing, what I feel that creative art has a lot to do with historical research. Because in that very part, when we look at the cave art or the rock art, we believe in them because that is the primary source, rather believing in the literature that has been created afterward. So art, creative art has a lot to do with the historical research. Being a student of history, I cannot, hold myself, and I came to this part of saying a few words on creative art. I won't be taking too much time, and we are really very much eager to listen to Professor Prabhat sir, and so I take this opportunity to thank all the participants, to thank all the organizers, and welcome all the participants to this two-day international seminar. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words of wisdom. Indeed, history and literature are the two sides of the same coin. They can't be read in separate. So now it's my privilege to welcome the guest of honor and the president of the inaugural session for this event, Dr. B.R.K. Sinha, sir, the Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Magadh University, for his presidential address. Sir, please. Hello, Prabhat, sir. Okay, sequence.
First of all, good morning, good afternoon to all of you. मेरे तरफ से आप सबों को नमस्कार। कहाँ से गड़बड़ है? Sorry for inconvenience caused to all of you. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who has left for some important work, Professor and former Pro Vice Chancellor of Purnia University, Prabhat Kumar Singh Sahab, IQAC Coordinator Professor Mukesh Kumar ji, I think Director of IQAC Professor Rahmat Jahan, Head of the Department of English, Magadh University, Madam Virangana ji, and Sanjay Kumar sitting on the desk. And I think very senior professor, Professor Rizwan Khan from Aligarh Muslim University, Professor Sahai sitting in front. I do not remember all, but I extend my thanks and welcome all of you in this luminary hall of Magadh University, Bodh Gaya. You might be knowing that Magadh University is located at the place of Lord Buddha, and that is why Magadh, Bodh Gaya, is called the place of enlightenment and salvation. So you can imagine the significance of the Magadh University, Bodh Gaya. The main thing is we have started so many functions in our university for the last 1.5 years. After a long stability in terms of disturbance in the campus, I was not there, but I came and learned. Many good things have been done in the campus, and we are trying our best to do other good things for the present and future generation in our campus. And we hope that we will be able to do that. Now, I come to the point on the theme of this international seminar, and the theme is very important. The organizer of this international seminar has chosen the right topics from the perspective of contemporary significance, the culture, creative art, and literature. I am not the expert of all these fields. Basically, I am a geographer. I do not know what I can speak about all these three important components of the seminar. The first is the culture, and then you have creative art and literature. The last two are already involved in the first word, that is the culture. But in sequence, culture is very important. And culture, to me, is nothing else but whatever we create, whatever the human beings have created, that is the culture. For example, in culture, we can say that culture is a very wide concept, and just Professor Mukesh Kumarji said, this is a way of life of the people of a society in a given region at a given point of time. I am adding two new words which may not be in your literature in English. There is space and time. Without a space, without time, we cannot perceive anything. Culture is created, it is built by us on this earth, and a space is the region, different parts of the world, different regions of the world, maybe different places in our states or similarly in other states of the country. So place is very important from cultural point of view, because culture is not a constant thing, but it changes from one region to another region, from one time to another point of time. That is why, for me, this is not a stable concept. It is not a constant, but we can change our culture with the passage of time. We have different, I have gone through the pamphlet of this seminar. I found that there is one interesting theme on migration. Maybe internal migration, that is known as the national migration, maybe international migration from one country to another country. While migrating, the people carry its own culture from their origin place. I can just give you an example that migrants are of two types. One is conservative migrants, another one is innovative migrants. For example, the French colony, French society in America, they maintain their own culture, traditions, even after migrating from European country to America. In this sense, they maintain their own culture, they enjoy their culture, but they always want to maintain that. So they are conservative migrants. But those who have changed their culture from their origin place to their destination, they are the innovative migrants. They learned the new things at destination place. They adopted the culture of their destination, and they left the culture of their origin place. And they enjoy and work with the new culture. So that is why culture is very wide term It has a very wide canvas. It includes so many things. Maybe beliefs, customs, ceremonies, lifestyles, habits, or whatever we do, all are under the concept of the culture. Second, since time is very short, but I thought that I will be allowed some more time because our Vice Chancellor has already left there. So I was thinking to take his time also. So second is the creative art. What is this? Whatever we create and try to give impression of certain types in certain form, maybe creative arts like dance, drama, music, sculpture, painting, all these are created things by the concerned or the experts, whatever you can say. So creative art plays a very important role in our society, and it has significance in our life. That is why creative art is also very important topic to be discussed in this 2-day seminar. And the third one is the literature. Everything is related with the literature in academic terms. Literature may be a kind of a script in written form, printed form, but some are in electronic forms nowadays also. There are so many things related with literature, and many students and researchers, scholars sitting in this hall, when they come to the library, they have to consult the books, the journals, the magazines, newspapers. They read, they learn, and enhance their knowledge and skills. So literature, in terms of book, magazine, journals, newspapers, in printed forms or in electronic forms, plays very important role in our life, or we can say in day-to-day our life. So that is why all these three components of the seminar, to me, are very, very important and has social relevance, and there is need of today to discuss on these three components of the seminars, and I hope that the deliberation will be successful. I came to know that some persons, some scholars from foreign countries are also online. I welcome them also to this luminary hall or Magadh University and to deliver their lectures online as well as offline. And I wish all of you the very best for the grand success of this conference. Thank you very much and most welcome for in this hall for discussion today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your illuminating address. I'm glad to announce that this afternoon we have the opportunity to listen to the keynote address of this seminar from the great scholar, teacher, and poet, Dr. Prabhat Kumar Singh. Former Pro Vice Chancellor, please give him a big hand of welcome. Former Pro Vice Chancellor, Purnia University, Dr. Prabhat Kumar Singh started his career in Magadh University service and retired from Mahatma Gandhi Kashi Vidyapith, Varanasi as Professor of English, Head, and Dean, Faculty of Humanities. He was then offered to serve Central University of South Bihar, where he worked as Professor, Head, and Dean, School of Languages. He also held additional charge of Registrar of CUSB. A distinguished teacher of English literature, Professor Singh has published 16 books of critical and creative writings in India and UK, and more than 36 research papers in Indian and foreign journals. A bilingual poet, his English poems have appeared in Canadian, American, and Indian journals and anthologies. His poems are also prescribed in a degree college level course in Indian universities. Also a bilingual translator, he has translated fictional works of Ruskin Bond and Shiv K. Kumar into Hindi, including his The Mahabharat, the Bhojpuri poems, and short stories into English for the Sahitya Academy of India. He is a recipient of National Millennium Honor for services to Hindi in the year 2000, Padma Shri Dr. L.N. Dubey Smriti Samman 2001, and Michael Madhusudan Award for Literature in 2003. Professor Singh has been on academic visits to universities in Malaysia, Singapore, Spain, Australia, and the USA. Sir, would you please do the honor and address the gathering?
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S.P. Sahiji, who because of his pressing engagements left us, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Sinha, I am using addresses very briefly, not by name, saving your time. So the learned members of the teaching fraternity who have come from different institutions and different places in India and abroad, the invitees, the delegates, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a pleasure to be in some academic activity. University departments, as centers of teaching and research, provide such opportunities quite often through seminars and conferences. English department of Magadh University, I remember, had created a history and brought laurels to the state of Bihar when Professor Nibha Singh, the then head of the department, organized the mega event of All India English Teachers Conference with resounding success. It is a matter of pride for all of us because that was the first that was held in this state. Extending the academic chain, now Professor Sarita Virangana, the present head, has organized this 2-day multidisciplinary international seminar on culture, creative art, and literature, which I am sure will conclude felicitously. I am thankful to Professor Sarita and her team, all the persons who are involved in organizing, the director and others, for inviting me to this occasion. Let me first congratulate the organizers for choosing this subject. You had enough of briefing from the previous speakers. I won't go for repeating, but My focus is on literary tenets of culture, and therefore I will focus on literary culture and creativity chiefly. And for that purpose, I will just briefly touch upon the key terms of the seminar. So I congratulate the organizers for choosing this subject, which reflects the spirit of our new education policy 2020, with its focus on culture. The three main components, it's already written there, the three main components in the title have been supplemented by 23 sub-themes in the brochure, visualizing, I suppose, the various correlated aspects: culture, social, cultural, social, political, post-colonial, historical, mythological, environmental, to mention a few, that the huge corpus of contemporary literature embodies. These subjects have been addressed by different writers in their distinctive narrative styles in their works. So there is ample scope for interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary. I share the sentiments of Mukesh ji when he was trying to differentiate between multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. There are points where they meet and cross each other. So there is ample scope for multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary approaches to these aspects of art and literature. However, this is my perception, care has to be taken in balancing the interacting disciplines of studies and knowledge so that no overshadowing takes place and fair enrichment of human sensibility is done. What happens, my apprehension is that when you start incorporating many other subjects with literature, mostly I feel literature is subdued and literature becomes a means for propagating all those things. I'm using a very common term. You see, people serve good food and ask, how was the dish? He says, the dish was very delicious. Well, the poor dish is always neglected. You eat the food, nobody cares for the dish. English literature often serves like a dish, which serves the purpose of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approaches to art and literature. So I believe that any interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approach must enrich the sensibility primarily. Let us just look upon the three major components. Culture includes, am I audible? I have gone a little hard of hearing these days. And such people often ask the audience, am I audible? Culture includes art and literature and reflects the people's ways of looking at things and their attitude. Culture is a comprehensive term that implies indigenous customs, festivities, rituals, manners, history and race, religious beliefs and political leanings, vernacular languages and folk elements, values and ideologies, ethos and spirituality that contribute to the making of human consciousness in the given context. Human behavior and habits are also influenced by the geographical settings. Professor, the Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor was mentioning about it. So, culture is also influenced by the geographical settings around which human civilizations have flourished down the ages. So, culture becomes a product of environment as well. Culture also denotes the socio-political formations that make a narrative of identity. Opposed to Western culture, in Indian culture, there has been an absence of centralized authority, religion or a state, because we have always honored plurality and diversity that global society needs most. Interdisciplinarity and cultural pluralism are inseparable ingredients that help in investigating and appreciating the ways in which culture is produced. Culture, therefore, invites for academic study of the varied constructs of meaning in a text. You can discover multiple meanings in a text because of your cultural approaches. And also for exploring how power politics influences meanings. If you read African writings, just imagine the political influence, the political power influences the cultural tenets of the society. This is a kind of interaction, a separate subject may be discussed. In cases of cultural encounter, in cases of cultural encounters, as found in diaspora literature, for example, the hybridity of history and culture is not free from inherent contradictions and oddities. Cross-national boundaries affect the autonomous nature of nationality, and one loses more than one gains. This is in fact a corroboration of the fact that Edward Said has mentioned in his wonderful book, Culture and Imperialism. He has said emphatically, cultures actually, I'm quoting, cultures actually assume more foreign elements, alterities, differences than they consciously exclude. This is in case of cultural encounter. So the cultural encounter, in cultural encounter, falsification of history and calcification of culture are possible consequences. Falsification of history and calcification of culture are possible, consequences alongside cultural transformation or cultural emancipation. In encounters, you have the emancipatory effect as well. When Tagore's poems and writings were translated into Portuguese language, for example, the Portuguese readers had a sense of emancipation because of this cultural encounter through language. Anyways, next thing is noticeable that the next two things are creative art and literature. Well, I too have a certain hesitation in saying, just imagine, I believe all arts are creative. There is no art which is not creative. Even then, I believe the spirit, the way it has been put, creative art means creative writings also, which are different from critical writings, and so literature has been clubbed with it. All arts, as Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor also mentioned, including fine arts, such as painting or sculpture, performing arts, like music or dance or drama, involve the artist in his or her respective exercise in organization, harmony, symmetry, symphony, rhythm, etc., with a view to projecting a composite art and a sense of beauty born out of truth. These are all objectives behind the creation of an art. Creativity transforms chaos into order. Creativity transforms chaos into order, the raw material into a finished work of aesthetic quality to be appreciated and interpreted in relevant terms. This finished product is marked by a sense of finality. Remember, every creative writer or artist wants to achieve a sense of finality. And sense of finality means there is no question of replacement. The very popular expression of Wordsworth, my heart leaps up when I behold the rainbow in the sky. Not a single word is replaceable. If you use all synonyms and you will find that the meaning collapses. So this is a kind of finality that a creative writer achieves, and then only we give the credence of being a great writer to them. Anyways, creativity of the artist is propelled by the urge to communicate an idea or emotion. All thoughts, all feelings do not turn into art form. Only potential emotions that seek expression set the artist at work. So art is the product of the artist's creativity that gives a form to the perceptions of reality. The artist is the maker whose art may be taken as mimesis or imitation of life. The texture and structure of a work may vary from those of the other, even in case of the same author, but the vision of the artist remains at the center. It remains at the core. And the art form he handles, literary or any other, grows out of the centrality or gravity of the vision. The creative writer or artist has the liberty to use facts of life and the world in his own suggestive manner. Facts may be fused with fiction, truths may be personally felt or vicariously perceived, experience may be real or imaginative. The creative artist employs his imagination to comprehend reality, otherwise not comprehensible. Creative imagination has interminable flights. Even the unthinkable can be imagined and given an artistic shape. That's the power of imagination. Unthinkable things can also be imagined. Maybe for a therapeutic use, as we find in the dramatic irony in Sophocles' play Oedipus, the King. Because whatever happened in that play, if you have read it, I believe you have read it, just imagine, is unthinkable. A son killing his father, admissible. But a son marrying his mother, unthinkable. Begetting children is still unthinkable. Just imagine. So Sophocles was not simply writing this drama to say that these things are there. No, he wanted to suggest that the future possibilities of human action is there. It may happen. So literature doesn't only deal with what is happening or has happened, it also deals with things which may happen. That is the power of imagination. So in this brief backdrop of few facts that I have mentioned, I have deliberately composed it for the background of the things that I'm going to discuss right now. Culture and creative art, I wish to refer to two literary works. One prose narrative, which is a powerful cultural text, and a small poem that reflects the socio-moral and environmental concerns of humanity. I cite them as specimens of our cultural integrity. Let us take the novel first. I have chosen a contemporary classic of Indian literature that has established regional novel as an independent literary genre. Regional writings, now available in English translation from Bhasha literatures, including tribal literature, are powerful racy narratives. The novel is Maila Aanchal by Phaneswar Nath Renu. I think many of you must have read it and enjoyed. This novel I have selected for discussion right now. And it has been translated into English, Soiled Border by Indira Jungre. You know, it took Indira Jungre 19 years to translate this novel, 19 years from the beginning. Why? Because the text is so deeply, intricately rooted in the cultural realities of the soil that it was very difficult for the translator to find out a synonymous term for the words used. Very difficult translation. You know, in fact, we do not translate the text, we translate cultures. And that makes the translation a very difficult task. So, Maila Aanchal denotes a village woman dressed in soiled regional colloquial idiom. It's not just an apron, which is dirty because of the rural women performing family chores and all that. No, this is in fact a village dressed in soiled regional colloquial idiom. Rural landscape has been painted in this novel from rural point of view. The locale, Meriganj, in Purnia district, just imagine, is a place which is on the bank of river Kamla. Life in this village, I will just give a brief taste of this village, what happens. Life in this village is marked by caste and class divide. Through its characters, the novel gives a vibrant, sensitive portrayal of the essence of Indian countryside. Symbolically, the village may be a representative village of any part of North India particularly. The time of events is 1946, that is just pre-independence. The village is people, I will put the names of the characters in clubs. And when I mention two names, remember, I just give you a hint, both are in love with each other. And those single names I will present, keep them away. So the village is peopled by Dr. Prashant and Kamli, Baldev and Lakshmi, popularly known as Kothari and Chachi, Kalicharan and Mangala Devi of the Charkha Center, Khalasi and Phulia, Mahant Sevadas and Rampiari, Jothki and Parvati, Tahsildar Vishwanath Prasad, Ram Kripal Singh, Bawan Das, the Santhals, and others. The transactions of life in this village show different facets of love and envy and socio-economic strife of people and underline the actions and events. Prominent are the conflicts between modern medicine and astrological healing, or black magic or witchcraft, what you call, between landowners and landless laborers, and between rival political ambitions or commitments. Political organizations active in the novel or in the region of the novel are Congress Party, Socialist Party, Communist Party, right-wing Hindus, and all are ridden with corruptions and caste factionalism. Religious rituals, festivals, superstitions, local legends, all are minutely observed and portrayed in the novel. We get different shades of Hinduism, including Kabir Math or Kabir Panth in the narrative. I wish to save time, just imagine, otherwise I have dozens of words that will give you the culture. Words, voucher, we use voucher. They say voucher. Gun, we say, they say bannuk. Bannuk, the words have been used, you see, right from the soil. Bannuk, no transformation. You know, there are so many words, you see. Party, political party, says party, not party. And so on and so forth. There are sentences, wonderful, that give you the taste of multiple linguistic tonalities. There may be a sentence that gives you the image of a rural background. Another sentence gives you an image of a Bengali tonality. Another sentence gives you an image of an absolute Khariboli Hindi. I will just cite 3 sentences, not more. Kukuru ka beta kali charna, I'm quoting a sentence. Kukuru ka beta kali charna, kali kriya khaya hai. Kali kriya khaya hai. Kukuru's son Kali Charan has sworn by the goddess Kali. Tunuk kar bolti hai. Another sentence. Tunuk kar bolti hai. And the other is phusur kor ke usko sikhati hai. Kor ke, Bengali tonality. Just imagine. Phusur kor ke usko sikhati hai. Baap kate ghoda ghas. Ab beta ka naam Durga Das. Typical economic, you see, condition of people and the dreams of the poor people. Baap kate ghoda ghas, beta ka naam Durga Das. Look at the language. Apart from these colloquialities, let us have a very absolute example of perfect Hindi. Amal taas ki peeli oढ़नी न जाने कब सरक कर गिर पड़ी. Amal taas ki peeli oढ़नी न जाने कब सरक कर गिर पड़ी. Absolute खड़ी बोली Hindi. So we have linguistic vitality and variety in this text that is rooted, and that is a reflection of the soil, the culture of the soil. So the regional novel exhibits a strong grip over the facets of life. Its regional tonality, in fact, you know, if you read Amitabh Ghosh's novel Sea of Poppies, a lot of Bhojpuri words you can find. If you read Arundhati Roy's novel, very famous novel, The God of Small Things, Malayalam tonality you can find very easily. So these are regional tonalities that in fact enriches the text with experimental authenticity and linguistic vitality. The novel is full of Maithili folklores and poems, multiple love stories, Sanskrit, Urdu, English words often distorted have been used in the narrative. Artistic use of proverbs, popular sayings, riddles, and songs is noticeable. The text is rich in dialectical expressions, Hindi, Maithili, Bengali, Nepali, and Santhali. The style is partly descriptive, narrative, and conversational. So Maila Aanchal is not only a tale in the tradition of Kissa Goi, old tradition. It's not just a tale. It's a rambling narration of events and individuals, extending the idea of regional novel as a genre. The novel is a data bank of socio-linguistic information. The novel is an anthropological study of village life. It's a drama of village life with a variety of living or lifelike characters, indulging in loving romantic relationships with covert or overt shades of morality. I told you, there are many married women who are in love with others, just imagine, so there are shades of morality. Remarkably, it has no wonderful novel. It has no single plot. It has no single dominant protagonist, a character around which others you see move. No, it is a novel which doesn't have a single plot or a single, you see, chief protagonist, but a series of scenes and characters with flashes like a motion picture. It's a cinematographic text, I call. Cinematographic, the scene comes, flashes off. It's a reflection on caste, politics, business, sexuality, and tenets of human nature, backwardness and all things, superstition, witchcraft, selfishness, stupidity, and so on and so forth, of the people of the region. It's also a commentary on the universality of human nature. It's not only happening in that village alone, it happens everywhere in the world because there is a common factor about human nature. So the novel is thoroughly a cultural text fit for any comparative or multicultural or interdisciplinary analysis or study. Now let us take the poem. Another aspect. Cultural diversity echoes the climatic conditions that are connected with conditions of life. In places like Cherrapunji, in the Khasi Hills of Meghalaya, or in Goa, for example, where there is more rainfall, people have to adapt themselves accordingly for survival. So is the case with places which have dry weathers. I hope you have got the sense. There cannot be a better place than Gaya. So is the case with places of dry weathers. So it is a matter of ecological sensitivity of the people in the given geographical location. Amitav Ghosh's concern for the life of the tribals, which is harshly affected by the deforestation in Sundarbans, in his novel, is apparent. No wonder Amitav Ghosh, who is a winner of the Erasmus Prize 2024, this year only, considers climate disaster as cultural crisis. Climate disaster is a cultural crisis, and he connects it with human interactions. We are somewhere connected and responsible for whatever is happening around. So the poem chosen for the present occasion is Sita Kund. Sita Kund is a very small poem. I will just quickly read it out. Sita Kund, which takes us to the eastern bank of dry river bed of Falgu, located at Gaya. It was really a matter of pleasure for me when Professor Rizwan, just a couple of hours before, informed me that this poem is prescribed in Aligarh Muslim University undergraduate course. And the subject in which it has been prescribed is environmental humanities, an upcoming branch of literary studies in humanities, environmental humanities, medical humanities. There are so many branches coming up. Now this is there. So this seminar is being held during Pitri Paksh. This seminar is being held during Pitri Paksh, and the poem deals with the religious ritual of Pindadan that Sita performed. The poem represents children's literature, an area of study, I believe, inadvertently has been missed in the list of co-themes, sub-themes. I believe strongly children's literature also deserves to be included in higher academics, and children's literature is mostly written by the adult minds, just imagine, not by the children. Anyways, I had the pride of establishing Ruskin Bond, a very famous children's writer in India, in higher academics. You know, he was nominated for Hans Andersen Christian Award, which is known as Little Nobel Prize. And I received a phone call from Switzerland that ask your publisher to send 16 copies for the juris, just imagine. Although he didn't get it, an American author got it. But then, why did they ask me? Because the book I published was the first in the world. It has been acclaimed. It has been, in fact, acknowledged by the library in Boston. The director wrote me a letter that this is the first book which establishes Ruskin Bond in the world of higher academics, because everybody was thinking of him as a children's writer. Anyways, so this poem may also be taken as a representative poem of the children's literature, because this poem was actually written for adolescent readers, teenagers, school boys and girls, not for mature minds as you people are engaged in higher education. And the objective was to introduce them to a religious mythical truth contained in our ancient Shiv Puran, which is a huge cultural reserve. With this purpose, this poem was written, and the poem was also dedicated to a class 7 student named Manan. I will just read out the poem, and you'll see how it works. Anyways, so the text is deeply connected. Sorry. Yes, the poem has been written for children, for adolescents, and poetic art, culture, custom, ritual, and morality all have been internalized in the fabric of this poem that grows in significance over the period of time as it joins environmental science with humanities. So it's not only a poem for the children, it becomes relevant for others as well. Devadatt Patnaik, very recently I found a wonderful impression of his. Devadatt Patnaik connects the age-old mythical image of Chanda Mama with Chandrayaan. Chanda Mama and Chandrayaan, a wonder of the modern science. So ancient myths evolve into modern reality. Art transcends time and turns into a timeless entity. This is the natural quality. Let us see, it's a very small poem. Very simple for adolescent readers to understand. Sita Kund. This here is a place, Sita Kund. This here is the water hole, echoing the hostile witnesses, their ancestral voice. Sita had offered Pinda to Dasrath on behalf of Ram here, as the time was running out. Go to the myth, you can find. Time was running out. But her husband's twitching eyebrows put her to another Agni Pariksha. Sita was suspected. Have you really performed it? So she had to undergo another Agni Pariksha, which she did not clear until Dasrath's soul and the sun god testified to the offering. That's the myth. The fear is striking eyewitnesses. Ketki the flower, Falgu the river, fire lit over there to deify, and the cow grazing nearby took a U-turn, engendering the curse of Sita. This is why Sita cursed them. 4 witnesses all denied. Ketki in Shiv Puja banned. Falgu buried under the sand. Cow's mouth touch to render things impious. And the fire to be omnivorous. These are the 4 curses. And last thing is, I say, God save the hostile witnesses. Ancient myth is connected with the modern reality. Everywhere in our society, crime is happening, and the eyewitness does not turn up in the court. I'm reminded of a wonderful novel of what's the name of the author? I'm missing. By way of my memory, if it comes, I will mention. Noticeably, in the poem, Sita did not curse the witnesses to cause hardship to humanity. She had none of these business, just imagine. She didn't curse to witness the witnesses to curse hardship to humanity. It was just a punishment for violating their moral duty to testify to the truth before Ram, whose wrath they feared and did not dare go against his doubt. It was a betrayal. It was a betrayal to Sita. But the long-term consequence of the curse fell heavily on the succeeding generations of all living creatures of this region. Humans, animals, plants, they all have been suffering. Sita did not intend this, but it happened. And the whole ecological system in this region is affected. So the text is deeply connected with a variety of facts, both ancient and modern. I am reminded of Chandrakishore Jaiswal, is a man from Bihariganj in Madhepura district. He's a Hindi writer. He taught Hindi in Bhagalpur University for some time. He has been awarded Sri Lal Shukla recently, just a month before. But his most famous work is, there is a novel, and the work is Gawah Gair Hazir. Gawah Gair Hazir. I'm reminded of that book. So, Gawah Gair Hazir is a novel which deals with the role of witnesses in the court cases. morality. One can find echoes of the role of hostile witnesses audible in the poem Sita Kunt, because they were the ancestors. Thus, the novel and the poem, the two examples I cited, the novel and the poem show that a texts have never been haunted by the issue of authenticity or fidelity. This is because of the oral traditions in Indian culture. Honorable Professor Salawat mentioning why is it oral tradition in fact, and there is no need to testify to it, so there is no question of fidelity to the traditions and culture. Anyways, so noticeably Indian traditions and culture are based on oral traditions as well. Francis Bacon, looked at divine knowledge, natural science, and humanities compositely with a view to suggesting that both the sacred and the secular strains of life must benefit mankind and his society. That was his perception. Humanities in India is definitely a little different from that in the West, because Macaulay's emphasis on European values does not go all well with Indian or universal values. Our literature essentially gives a comprehensive sense of humanity, which is multi-religious, multicultural, multilingual. We practice and promote unity in thinking, feeling, and living. Our Indian literature is Vedic in origin. Let us not forget it. Our Indian literature is Vedic in origin, and it has been subsequently enriched by the Upanishads, by the epics, Buddhist scriptures, Jatak tales, and various such treasures of knowledge and wisdom. Narratives located in the depth and dimension of such sources stand far ahead of the contemporary works bearing Western impact. So Indian authors have to maintain, this is the challenge before Indian authors. Indian authors have to maintain their own stance without being insensitive to the living literature of the time, reflecting, for instance, the social order, political viewpoint, cultural realism, current and futuristic messages that form literary trends in the writings. Knowing, we all know, particularly Indian writers, knowing full well that the world today is in utter turmoil, experiencing a variety of crises or dilemma causing a stress on the global scale, they are faced with the challenge of preserving cultural values. That's the challenge, preserving cultural value and handling their subject essentially as an aesthetic phenomenon, which is not an easy task. I tell you, this is the most challenging job. When you write a poem or a story or a novel or whatever you see, it is very difficult for you to maintain the balance and make it purely an aesthetic phenomenon. Mostly, it is subjugated to many other passions. So, it's not an easy task. The challenge has increased. The challenge has increased further with the advent of computer-controlled digital or electronic literature. Computer-controlled digital or electronic literature added by artificial intelligence recently that generates ideas and collaborates with artists' creativity. Artificial intelligence will act for you. So that's another challenge to present. Concluding remarks. I therefore expect from the sensitive individuals, learned scholars, delegates and participants in this seminar, please, I expect from you all to look for the grains of Indian values, thoughts, and aesthetics in the backdrop of our culture and literary traditions while decoding a text of your choice. If you choose any book for your discussion, just imagine, never forget that you are rooted in your tradition and look at it from your point of view. This is one request. So it is needless to say, So please do not, in your creative writing or critical writing, please do not delink yourself from the culture of your soil. Because that alone will hold your national identity. On the contrary, keep yourself firmly rooted in the depths of your native soil with which you have a spiritual tie. For that is how you can derive best cultural nourishment for your sensibility. That is how you can ensure a dependable and a stable recognition for your writing in any art form. The language in which you choose to write or to express yourself must emanate the flavor of your cultural identity. Originality of art and literature can be preserved that way only. And it is needless to say that your mother tongue or native language serves this purpose best. Wolfgang Goethe, the great German writer, Goethe, in the fag end of his life, traveled to the countryside of Germany on his horseback and collected the songs that the village women used to sing. And then he realized that here lies my roots. So Goethe, indeed, discovered the roots of his native language when he traveled through the German countryside and collected the folk songs sung by the village women. Derek Walcott, Chinua Achebe, African writers, use native words abundantly in their works, in their writings. What for? What for? For gaining cultural stability. Stability. It's very difficult to dislodge them from their roots. Cultural stability. Orhan Pamuk, I'm reminded of his interview when he got the Nobel Prize. One gentleman asked him, in which language do you write actually? He said, I cannot think of writing in any language other than my mother tongue, that is Turkish. Turkish language. Everything that you find is a translation of it. So look this, Orhan Pamuk never thought of writing in any language